Republic TV reporters are standing together, united in protest and together as one. Standing together, absolutely unafraid of these tactics which have been unleashed by the Congress party upon us. In fact, if there's a moment of unity, this is it and this is here. And that's Payal holding her own placard and she's Subramanian Swamy. Over to you, Payal. Over to you, Payal. I'm sure Swamy is watching all this.
Well, of course, yes. Absolutely. And, as I stand here shortly to go back to my team, I have with me Dr. Subramanian Swamy. Sir, you witnessed the emergency in the 70s. This is the first time that people like us are witnessing an emergency. This is an emergency kind of a situation. I mean, what can one say of the Congress party? What are they really afraid of? They would not even allow a single reporter, and they assault female reporters and camera persons as well.
Yes, it's a most deplorable behavior for a party which has been talking incessantly for the last 1 year on tolerance, has shown the lowest depraved form of intolerance when they push journalists for only asking to be present in a press conference, which is their fundamental right. So I can understand the internal agony of some congressmen, because they are guilty as hell in this Sunanda murder case. And it goes pretty high up, in fact, all the way to the top. And so they are frightened as to where all this will lead. And they think that by these methods, this will be suppressed. Unfortunately, this is only going to give a boost to your channel, which has been in the forefront, without doubt, being number one in the lead in terms of extracting information, bringing on documents on record. And so you have done a great service, and I have found length and breadth of India people appreciative that it's not proper for a young woman, by Indian standards now 50 years young, she in her prime of her age, to be killed like this in a 7-star hotel and not a word, and all attempts to blacken out the investigation or blot out the investigation has taken place, and because of your channel's efforts, it has now become on the front page of all newspapers.
They have so many intelligent people around, they have so many legal minds around. Instead of asking questions of Shashi Tharoor, they, I think, are more worried about what Arnab Goswami and his team are doing, what they are reporting on, what they should not be reporting on, who are they targeting, what's happening between people. I mean, they should be asking Shashi Tharoor, who's sitting about 100 meters away from where Sonia Gandhi is currently. Why isn't she asking him questions?
Absolutely, but she can't, because she is complicit. I will be coming out with that very soon. But Republic TV has to be targeted because you have changed the discourse on this. In fact, the foster son of Mr. Shashi Tharoor, that Shiv Menon, his lawyer was saying that Republic TV seems to have everything before anyone else gets it. How is that possible? And they are creating such an atmosphere that they should be, the court should take cognizance. The court, of course, laughed it off. But the fact is that the publicity is the one thing that they are most afraid of, and that's the one that you have maximum given.
Probably through this particular interview, we want to tell Shashi Tharoor and company that we do not need any publicity. We do our work diligently. We are independent journalists, so they should be more worried about themselves than being worried about what we are doing. But the fact of the matter is that every attempt, sir, was made to block our coverage. Yes. There was a defamation case filed on us. There was, of course, through using Shiv Menon as a tool to sort of try to block us as well as your litigation in the thing. What more do they want to try? How much do they want to try? Because we are ready to ask them to bring it on.
Well, they can't do very much. They are not in power. If they cross the line, we know what to do with them. So that is not. And as far as the defamation case is concerned, I don't know whether they actually filed it in court or they have just given you notice. But in either way, it is a piece of paper. You just throw it.
Most of the media very silently kept watching this. As our colleagues were getting assaulted, they were very silently sitting there and watching this. And nobody really came out in support. This is the Lutein media's behavior at its best.
Yeah, that has been a weakness in our country. But in the end, you see, except perhaps NDTV and one or two other channels, they know that next could be their turn. So I wouldn't be surprised they have sympathy. I've seen this in the emergency. People just watched. But when it came to voting, they defeated Congress.
My final question to you again, and again I say that, you were very much part of the emergency. You went to jail during that period. Have you seen anything as low in the Indian media as much as you see today? 7 to 10 journalists standing outside the Congress party. They have no guts to come out and face us. They have no guts to answer our question. They have used cops against us. The police is standing there and barricading us. The Congress gundas are standing there and barricading us. If Shashi Tharoor is so confident in himself, Shashi Tharoor, Sonia Gandhi should walk out and answer our questions and tell us that, these are the answers to your question and now you can get away.
Congress is all said and done after Jawaharlal Nehru, been in an atmosphere of doing closed door politics, and they don't like this kind of fresh air being brought into anything. And this is not in the emergency. There was a Commonwealth conference which was for whom a reception was held in Red Fort. The same thing, the Ambika Soni led the charge. Lathis were used on our pressmen, their hands and legs were broken. Many of them spent 20 months in jail thereafter. So it is typically the emergency mentality which is you are seeing today, and I'm confident that they are going to be big losers in this, because even the shadow of doubt that people might have had that could they have actually organized the murder of Sunanda, now I think people will be thoroughly convinced that these people have something to hide.
Well, of course, the message for the entire team of Republic, including you, Arnab Goswami, is that the harder that anybody hits at us, the stronger we get. And of course, that is the way it's going to continue. So, Dr. Swamy, extremely, extremely happy with the kind of reportage that we've been doing, independent reporting.